Good morning and welcome back to Sports Insight 757. As a part of the 757 series, I am joined with Greg Bicouvaris. He actually used to work over here at WNIS, but he is the host of Sports Scene on radio and Sports Highlights on TV. Greg, how are you today?
Always a pleasure, Jay Lee. And of course, you've been a guest on both.
Oh, yes, I have. Oh, and this is, hey, we like to scratch each other's backs around here, Greg.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, past and present WNIS employees too.
That's right. That's right. Well, yeah, I definitely wanted to bring you on, being that you do a lot in the broadcast realm. I mean, there's like a broadcasting war going on between all the networks. Everyone trying to land big names, see who can cut a bigger check. What are your thoughts on some of the broadcast wars, if you will?
I'm surprised, but I'm not totally surprised. Let's just take it from the top. With ESPN, with Steve Levy's crew. You could kind of tell they were treading water the last couple of years. ESPN's done a really good job with NBA talent, college basketball talent, college football, but they really haven't gotten Monday Night Football right, pretty much in a long, long time. When Gruden was there with Tirico, that was very good. But the last few years, the Booger Mobile, although I really like Booger, I thought he was a very good analyst, the best of the bunch. It really has been helter skelter the last few years. And of course, when Aikman started hearing rumblings there that that option was available at ESPN, I think after 21 years, he was ready for a change. I mean, he did spend 21 years at Fox after he played for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's a very good point too. And being that he's been in the profession for so long, it kind of makes sense that he can transition over to Monday Night Football. But we're seeing the names of Sean McVay, who was the coach for the Rams. His name was thrown in there just because of the money and how much less work he would have to do. It seems like a better fit for an actual broadcaster. No.
Absolutely. You talk about the time, and NFL is a grind. I mean, it's a 24/7 day a week job, whether it's the combines, the draft, summer conditioning, whatever it is. It's year round. You got to deal with the off the field issues, hiring coaches, as you know, that's a lot of drama there sometimes as well. And of course, there's demands on your time every single day. But, then you add Buck to it, who has been with Fox for a long, long time. That's a great combo. Those two are best of friends. I've worked with them several times as their stage manager in Baltimore, Washington, Major League Baseball as well, including the All-Star game in 2018 in Washington. But I worked with Buck and Aikman this past year, and you heard rumblings that even Aikman was interested in front office work or something in the past. But I think the prime time of ESPN and maybe going to ABC and adding more games is big. But let me tell you, Jay Lee, the 425 window that they were on Fox was a big deal. That had a lot of viewers, great ratings. So that's going to be a big loss for Fox.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy that he is shifting over to ESPN, but I never thought I'd see the day where all these broadcasters are making more than the players that they're talking about. I mean, is this like a hidden retirement, fund that all these former players have?
Yeah, it's been a lot of news. I mean, you saw the Packers, too, made a change with the Raiders there, too. But one more thing about Buck was he also did the World Series. So that's going to be a double loss for Fox and Buck that he did the World Series, baseball, and the NFL. Fox upcoming, Jay Lee, has got two of the three next Super Bowls as well. So whoever they get in that position is going to have to be a big-time talent. One thing is to do the second or the third game of the week on regionals, whether it's CBS or Fox on Sunday, but this is high exposure on the number one talent booth. As far as the announcers, yes. I mean, it goes back to John Madden. I mean, he worked for CBS, Fox, of course, ABC and NBC. He demanded that type of money. He set the bar. Tony Romo set the bar with the Cowboys, although some people think he's fallen off a little bit. I still think he's still very solid. But Romo, Madden kind of set the bar like that. Chris Collinsworth is steady right there at NBC.
Greg, you brought up a good point. The World Series and Joe Buck are almost synonymous, right? Like that, you hear his voice when you think of the World Series. So I appreciate you shedding some light on, being that you are a stage manager. You have a lot of expertise there. But I want to switch focus before I let you go. March Madness. I mean, round the day one did not disappoint. What are some of your takeaways from day one?
That's they call it March Madness. I'm disappointed in Kentucky. I think they know they've got time to prepare. They probably, when you have a young team that changes every year because so many of the guys go to the NBA. I think that's a problem. I think attrition. I think the transfer portal. A lot of factors go into it. But that team from New Jersey was there for for regulation, and they did it. They had enough to beat Kentucky, like their coach said. They're just playing basketball, and guess what? They played better basketball.
One thing to note is that, I mean, despite Kentucky got upset, but they're probably still send some dudes to the league, one and done. I mean, the team that they lost to, they probably won't be sending St. Peter's. They probably won't send anybody to the NBA. So that's the craziness in the discrepancy there.
I don't think many people even knew St. Peter's existed.
Greg, I did not. I can tell you right now, I was blind to the fact that St. Peter's existed, let alone the fact that they could upset Kentucky.
And then you got UConn losing too, and then you got a lot of big name blue bloods losing, and of course North Carolina with Marquette. That was not even close either. So really, but the upset of the day obviously was St. Peter's beating the Southeastern Conference great Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean that was it. That took the cake. 15th ranked knocked off a 2 seed. We saw a couple 12 seeds knock off 5 seeds. The Richmond Spiders. How about them knocking off Iowa Hawkeyes?
Yeah, I saw Richmond last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and they were playing great from the jump. I mean, they won very good in semifinals. They had the A10 final in D.C., which is not far from Richmond, and you could just tell the karma, the way they came back, the way they beat Davidson. Something was special about Richmond, and I was good, but they're not a great team that can't be beat.
Greg Bicouvaris, host of Sports Scene on radio and Sports Highlights on TV. I'm assuming your bracket got busted because you took Norfolk State to beat Baylor, right?
Yeah, but about the Virginia schools, Norfolk State and Longwood, at least they made it. It was a rare year that Virginia didn't make it, VCU didn't make it, but there were 4 Virginia schools that made it, and Norfolk State should be proud. I mean, you look at Baylor. I mean, they won the national championship, so that really was not no shame of that at all.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen some good things out of Coach Robert Jones, and I think we'll continue to see some good things. Joe Bryant, MEAC Player of the Year, coming out of Norfolk State. A lot of good things there. Obviously, you run into the big bully Baylor, and there goes your season. So we're proud of them for making the tournament, for winning the MEAC, but ultimately, the teams that want to dance, that are strong enough to dance, will continue to dance throughout March. Greg, let the people know exactly where they can find you on radio and TV before I let you go.
And the last thing too is these mid-majors, no matter who they are, whether it's VCU or Richmond or Norfolk State, they still have to continue to play the big blue bloods. They just can't play teams like themselves because you know what? In the NCAA tournament, they're going to face the elite teams in the first and second round.
That's a good point because furthermore, NSU thought they should have gotten a higher seed, and it was likely due to the strength of schedule. They had great wins, they had a great win-loss percentage, but the strength of schedule. So I completely agree with you there.
Yeah, Sports Scene is heard on WPMH on Saturday from 10 to 11. Sports Highlights, of course, is been around for 30 years. For more, go to nnpstv.com. That's on weekends at 9 a.m. on TV, and, of course, Mondays at 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. on Cox Cable 47, 517, and all over social media, at Greg Bick on YouTube and at Greg Bick on Twitter.
Greg always has me, so it's only right that I have him. And thank you for shedding some lights on the broadcasting situation, on the March Madness upsets, on the Virginia schools. You're welcome back here anytime, Greg.
Always good to talk to you, Jay Lee.
All right. That sums up the 757 series here on Sports Insight 757. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Don't you touch that dial.